Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura Rosen. I am co-founder of Everyday Woman TV, a professional speaker, a business expert, and a commercial real estate broker. One of my favorite things in the world to showcase on my TV show and podcast is other women in this world that are making a difference and empowering women. One of those people for me is Janelle Harris. Welcome.
Wow, thank you. I'm excited to be here with you, Galit.
I know, even though you're 3 hours ahead and I'm 3 hours behind, we figured it out, which is so much fun.
Absolutely.
And Janelle, I'm going to share a little bit about you, and then I'd love for you to delve in a little more because I know you do so many things. I can't even do it justice in 2 sentences, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
So Janelle Harris is founder of She Exists magazine. One of the things that Janelle is most passionate about is creating a space where women can empower women, and not just women in our age group, but really focusing and taking under our wing the younger generation. She's very excited about her upcoming Mother's Day issue, and I'll give her an opportunity to share a little bit more about that. And one of the things about Janelle that you will love the most is that she loves to connect like-minded women to like-minded women. So you want to make sure you connect with her either way. So Janelle, one of the topics we'll be talking about today, which I know we could talk about 100, is building a team and how important it is to the success as being a business owner and a leader. So welcome. Yay.
Woo, I'm excited. Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. I want us to start, before we jump right into the topic, I want us first to start a little bit about you and how you got started and why you're so passionate about this topic and why it's so important to build the She Exists brand and really platform for women.
Wow. Ooh, great question. I started from young. I started to volunteer at a hospital and I learned customer service. And then I moved into corporate, retired 17 years at one location, doctor's office. Many of trials and errors were training. We're training for new staff and just being on site, knowing the different skill sets people have. And you have a lot of turnovers, HR's turnovers. So one of the things is, how do you stay consistent in training? How do you elevate somebody else? And being that I was a manager, I had the opportunity to always train and watch talents grow. You see, some would come in from the another field, and I've watched them grow and develop skills, and they were ready to move on. So that is what propelled me to do She Exists, because I know that there's so many other women out there that wants to learn and want to learn new trades. So I, found out that I need to be my own entrepreneur, and I started She Exists. So encouragement, empowerment, just taking control and not asking permission for your talent to be on this earth. And here I am.
I love that. One of my favorite things that you said in that entire statement was how wonderful it is to watch people grow when you give someone an opportunity. And today we're specifically speaking about women. Yes. I've worked and mentored a lot of men as well, but today we're talking about women. And this idea that someone walks in, I've had the same experiences as you, Janelle. I don't know anything about commercial real estate, but I want to be in the field. Well, let's go. When you give someone a platform and they're really motivated and excited to learn, because you really have to be, and they're ready to go, but what's really stopping them is they just don't know how. And you give them a platform like you have in your career prior, as well as, of course, She Exists. It is so rewarding. Isn't it the most rewarding feeling?
Yes. Oh, it's a beautiful feeling. Yes.
And I love that. One of the things I want you to share with everybody is, if somebody's listening or watching right now saying, I know I want to do something different, but I don't know how do I find the kind of opportunity, Janelle, that you gave people or that you give people?
Well, great question. Finding a Galit.
I'll send you the check after the show.
Well, I'm so serious because I don't know it all. and I can't do it all. So why not find valuable team leads? It doesn't have to be in the same location. And for me, I'm always looking for people on other levels, higher levels than me, and especially higher income brackets, so I can learn. So with doing that, I create a space for multi-talented expertise. And if I don't know something, I can definitely send you over to somebody that does. So that's a great thing of having team building.
I love that. I think it's so important for those listening and watching to really absorb what you just said, because many times as women, what stops us is not knowing how. And then we just stop and we stay in our cycle of comfort of what we do every day, because we know what to do when we get to work. We know what needs to get done. The check shows up in the bank every week or two. And this is sometimes what happens, especially with women, is, well, if we don't know how, I don't have the time, or I don't even know where to find the resources. And today, you and I are in similar generations, Janelle. We didn't have this world when we were younger where they could learn everything at the fingertips today. Just Google the words of what you want to learn. Do your research, do your homework. I love research. I love learning. And the internet gives me this opportunity. I'm going to totally age myself. In the olden days, we'd have to go to the library. Learn from magazines and newspapers and books. Today, everything's right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Well, let's jump in a little bit into the reason why you decided today that you really love the topic of building a team. Share with us a little bit about your own experience with that.
Again, my past experience is what's propelling me to have this drive. Yes. I didn't have someone to care for me in the space that I was in. I've learned everything on my own, and I've learned by watching. So going through that trauma and being in corporate and growing in a company and having to convert to another company where my prior supervisor has been there same years of me being with the other company. And due to my experience, and we had the same years, it became a conflict of interest for her. And coming on board with all the knowledge I had and seeing the way she did things, and I wanted to come in with my way. And my way was training everybody, making everybody multi-talented, and because it's smart. When you have a company that always depend on you, we're failing. Number one, we're failing. So the whole goal is to operate when you're not there, and that's building and leaving your legacy. I've always believed that, no matter what space you're in. So we bumped heads because she wanted me to hire insecure women. And I felt that I wanted to grow talent. So I say that because I've learned that in this life that we live in, not everybody is honest, and not everybody wants to see women win. Very true. Why not lead by example? Yes. Why not take all that trauma and all that built up humility that I dealt with, and now turn it into some gems and jewels and wisdom? I just want to say I left my job, and all those women that I hired are still there, and they are growing. And that out of the 21 offices, the office that I came out from, the staff is still there. And that's because they've learned from zero to up. They learned from ground zero to the top.
I love that. What a great example of a successful way of building a team. And I know that today, as an entrepreneur, it is a key to your success.
Yes.
What are some of the tips that we can give those listening and watching so they can start? Because I will tell you something, Janelle, what I found being a business coach, of course, I work with women to teach them how to build teams, because you can't do everything yourself. And what I found over and over again is the resistance of a few things. First of all, they're worried about losing control. Yeah. Second of all, they're not so experienced in delegating. And then the third thing that a lot of women say is, well, I don't have the money to start building a team, because obviously you need to have money to pay a team member. So I'd love to hear, and you don't have to answer those things, but I'd love to hear from your perspective, your success in building a team for She Exists magazine, and how you've done that.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. So for me, it's expanding my territory. Everything does not have to revolve around money. However, money is very important. But when you say building a team, for instance, I have to be able to be vulnerable to say, who's this young lady that's doing all these great things? Hi, my name is Janelle. I live here, so, and this is what I'm working on, and I would like for you to check it out. So the first thing is building a relationship. Make yourself vulnerable that you can reach out to someone and introduce yourself. It goes back to the handshake.
Yes.
And a lot of women are intimidated before they even get to know you. So you can get intimidated by reading a bio. And the goal is, wow, all these accomplishments, all these traits, and she's a woman and she's doing what I'm doing. I need to talk to her. So we should always have an open mindset about going into new ventures, because that's how we learn. Faith is the number one tool that I rely on, because I don't look at the finance. I build the blueprint, and then I walk to the blueprint, and then I allow the money to come, because it does come. And manifestation is the number one tool again as well, because we oftentimes want to wait till we have all this money in the bank account. Something's always going to happen, Galit. I read a post when you said that what was it? It was recently, when it rains, it pours.
Yes.
It's always going to rain, and it's always going to pour. So we can't stop. We got to keep the train going, and it's going to work itself out, because most of the time these challenges are really here to equip us. You notice you have a lot of professions, or let's just say college. They have to get the business and the associates. They have to jump to different tiers before they get their degree, because they have to get the experience. And I believe I can get so much experience from you in order to grow, which I have.
Yes.
And it comes with vulnerability. I believe us women should really understand that we all were in the same state, and it takes a team to win. Now, a lot of relationships don't work out. I understand. Some do. Valuable relationships. So it's like, who's doing what I'm doing? And where do I see myself in 5 years? In Galit, during the pandemic, I watched you, because I reached out to you, and I said, I want to walk where she's walking. That was the first thing. Leslie, Sabrina, I want to walk where you guys are walking, because where you guys are walking is a positive, successful mindset.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's quite interesting, because I saw that with a lot of women during the last 2 years. There were women that froze and they couldn't move.
Yeah.
And they just froze. And it's okay. I understand that's how they handled it. And then there were women like, let's go.
Yeah.
And really, it's really the truth. And Angela and I are those women too. We're like, the world just stopped. We just got afforded some free time.
Right.
We've been talking about this project for 6 months. It's time to make it happen. And you did the same thing. I love all the things you talked about with building a team. And I just want to reiterate a few of those, because I think they were so important. One of them is be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Recognize that everything isn't going to come exactly the way you want, in exactly the order that you want. In fear, it's going to freak you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Let it go. Move on. This is not something that's a danger to your life that you need to fear. And I love that you said talent and growing, having those conversations. And the last thing that you said that I really loved is find the people that are where you want to be. I've done that my entire career, Janelle. I still do it. And I keep shooting a bit higher
Yeah,
and a bit higher and a
absolutely.
bit higher. Whenever somebody says, well, who do you want to be like? I'm like, well, yeah, I want to be Oprah. I want my own magazine, my own TV channel. I want my own.
Right.
It's just common sense for me that
Yeah.
that's someone that I strive to be. But strive to be someone that you can see yourself being. It's very
Absolutely.
important for those that are listening. What Janelle said was so important. She goes, next income bracket, next. So my first business coach was making $10,000 a month. My second business coach was making $700,000 a year. So you
Okay.
just keep going up
Yep.
and you recognize,
Yeah.
I don't know everything. I'm aware. Let me find the people that know the things I don't know. And it sounds like that's really working for you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Love
Education is key. Yes.
me, yeah. I want to learn forever. I'm one of those
Yeah.
people that I love learning. And I'm like a sponge. I went back to school at 38, for goodness sakes, to get my master's degree. I want to go get a doctorate. People are like, for what? You don't need it. And I go, because I love to learn. And
Right.
then guess what, Janelle? We get to take what we learn and teach the next generations.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
And women in sisterhood, sometimes women are afraid to teach other women because they feel that they're going to take my spot. And
Competition.
here's the thing, we don't have a spot. We all deserve to be here because we all have our own gifts.
Yes.
And honestly, it's okay to teach because you're making room for your gifts. It's okay to drop jewels or however it turned out. You did a good thing.
Yes, I love that statement. And I think that when, as women, and you and I already do this, so I'm preaching to the choir, but when you recognize that there's enough success for everybody, that
Yes,
Jill being successful doesn't take from your success. Your success
absolutely.
is on you. If you're not as successful as Jill, let's figure it out a way to get as successful.
That's right.
If anything, instead of comparing yourself to people and saying, I don't want to compete with her, say, how can I learn from her? How can I be like her in a positive way, but be happy for her? And I think that's what you and I have been growing in our little communities, that so many of them have become intertwined. I think that we're doing that, Janelle. I think you're doing that. And thank you for doing that, because I'm watching everything that you're doing and it's so amazing. You're growing,
Thank you.
woman, you're growing like crazy.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
are.
Thank you. I'm dropping all the gems. And really, I've told you, I've read your book. I've been in your workshop.
Yes.
You have really put a lot of wisdom within me. I've learned from so many. So when you see this elevation, it's like you planted seeds. Reading your book, you had a lot of jewels in there. And a lot of people read, but then they don't really receive it. I was tapping in.
You were ready. You were ready. You're like, I'm the same way when I read books. I'm ready.
Yes.
So I'm reading it and I'm ready and I'm like, wow. And I'm an old school. I like books in my hand. I highlight things still, like in college. And I really love to revisit. I also do a lot of audiobooks because I drive a lot and it's great to re-listen to books.
Yes.
Re-listen. But I appreciate that. I would love for you, Janelle, before we wrap up, to tell everybody how they can learn more about She Exists Magazine, learn more about you, and support your mission and be a part of it.
Okay, yes. You can find me on Facebook, Janelle Harris. I do have the She Exists Facebook. My Instagram is God_bearing_women. www.sheexistmagazine.com and www.sheexistpress.com. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to Galit because she knows where to find me. And one thing I want to say,
all over social media.
After reading the Successful Mindset book, I immediately emailed Galit and I said, I am ready to start this magazine. Yes. And here I am. You're interviewing me about it.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to have to get that testimonial and use it because I love that. I have to put that up because it's so neat. We don't always know how we impact people. I interviewed Erica Latrice a few weeks ago, and I hadn't spoken to her in 2 years. And she said something to me about that too. She's like, because of you, I was inspired to get my real estate license. I was like, we don't know the people we impact. So ladies that are listening and watching, connect with Janelle, learn more about the magazine, support her mission. I also want to share with those listening and watching that you don't understand the impact you could make on people until you try. And every single one of you have a gift, as Janelle said, that's unique, that you could share with the world. Recognize it. And if you're missing the how, find someone that will show you how, because it would be a shame for your gift to leave with this earth with you. What a great thing to share it with everybody instead of hiding it and keeping it to yourself. So I love that you said that. Janelle, thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely.
I love having you. I love appreciating you. We went way over because I know we could talk for 2 hours, and I don't know, I'm leaving it exactly as it is because we want all these golden nuggets. And those that are watching and listening, thank you so much for being a part of the Successful Woman's Mindset. That's the book that Janelle was talking about. That's why I started the show, because mindset is a key to success in everything that we teach, including building a team. So continue to watch, continue to share with your friends, reach out to Janelle, and thank you so much for being a part. Bye, everybody.
Bye.